Putin aggression leads to surge in electrical vehicle progress in Europe. And Sean Goulding Carroll at Euractiv.com actually points out, he asked if Europe could do something to defund the war, right? To defund this effort that Putin is conducting right now. And one of the main things, it turns out, might be replacing internal combustion engines, gasoline and diesel-powered engines, with electric cars. Now, the European Union has already ratified a plan that would ban the sale of anything except electric cars after 2035. But that's 13 years down the road. So the question is, can they move up that deadline? And there's a discussion about this in Europe right now. Slightly over a quarter of all the petroleum consumed in the European Union comes from Russia. And that money is funding the Russian war machine. So the European Parliament just literally, quite recently, in the last month or so, just resolved a debate, shall we say, within the EU about how extensively they want to create a framework to recycle batteries so that they don't have to depend on foreign countries for things like lithium and chromium and cobalt, nickel, copper. And to what extent they're going to subsidize that. And so they just put this together. The EU, batteries made in the EU are going to be the greenest in the world and the most recyclable, with plans to recover some 90% of the nickel, copper, and cobalt used in them and 70% of the lithium. Russia, by the way, is one of the world's major lithium producers and exporters to Europe. So where is this going? Well, Ford is planning 3 new electric passenger vehicles for consumers in Europe within the next 2 years. And new lines are going to be built in both Germany and Romania. In France, the high price of gasoline is causing consumers to start buying more electric vehicles. There was kind of an anecdotal story over at France Info. One man at a dealership tried driving an EV for the first time, and then he calculated his fuel costs and saw it would drop from $440 for his average monthly driving of around 1,400 miles. It would drop from $440 down to $60. Electricity is a lot cheaper, particularly in Europe, than gasoline, but also here in the United States. Louise and I paid pretty much nothing to drive our car all around. We went for a nice long drive yesterday. Went out and visited one of our kids and our grandkids. Now, in France, Macron who is campaigning for re-election, by the way, which may have something to do with why he keeps trying to insert himself into the situation with Russia. He recently added a new plank to his platform, his re-election platform, and that is a lease-to-own program that the government will run to make it easier for middle-class consumers to buy electric cars. That's kind of a cool thing. And Tesla has sold, they have sold 309,000 cars in the fourth quarter of last year alone, over 300,000 cars in the European Union. That's a 71% increase over the previous year. In December, 29% of new car registrations across Europe were plug-in, either all-electric or plug-in hybrids like the one I have. And but in the United States last year, only 9% of new car purchases were electric vehicles or PHEVs, the plug-in hybrid electric vehicles. And I think we need to fix this. We need to fix this. If you want to solve the crisis in Ukraine, if you want to diminish the power of Russia's Vladimir Putin, go electric. Now, I realize not everybody in America can do that. So let's start something like Macron is proposing in France, a lease-to-own program for electric vehicles, or more subsidies for electric vehicles so that we can make this transition. We have to get this country off its fossil fuel addiction.